Hello, hello, YouTube. Getting started here now. Make sure all the sound is good to go. There we go, should come on now. And there it is. Cool. How you guys doing? Hope you're having a good Wednesday? Whatever today is. What is today? It's Wednesday, yeah. I am. I worked on the November devlog, which I'm going to try to do a devlog every month and post it on YouTube for that MMXFPS project. And I thought I would be able to finish the whole thing in one day, but I wound up pretty much editing the whole thing together with all the video pieces and parts. But I didn't do the voiceover yet. So I'm gonna have to do that tomorrow, or maybe later tonight after the stream. We'll see. I might be tired after that. But yeah, so I'm gonna be doing that tomorrow during the day and probably working on this more. Tonight though, we're gonna be working on this Zelda illustration that I'm gonna start. I'm just gonna start it, so you're gonna see the process from the very beginning, or at least the very beginning. I don't know if I'll stream the entire process of me working on it, but I'm at least gonna stream a lot of it. And yeah, so kind of the idea behind this is there's this Discord server that I'm a member of through a Patreon, which is Dave Rapose's Discord server. You probably know, if you like illustration and if you like video games and stuff, you probably know Dave Rapose's work. He's a illustrator, and he does lots of really cool realistic paintings and things. He also made the Steve Lichman comic book, really funny. I really like it, actually. And he has he does kind of lessons and just hangouts and streams on his YouTube channel through his Patreon. And he also does challenges on his Patreon for people who want to work on their illustration skills and stuff. I've done several of his challenges, but I haven't done the last couple of them because I was busy with other stuff, and the subjects didn't quite jump out to me like the other ones that he was doing. But now he's doing one that's focused on composition. So for that, I've got a bunch of these here references. This is the description from his Discord, where he kind of lays out what the competition is or it's not really a competition, it's just a challenge, what the challenge is all about. And he gives some reference pieces of graphic compositions and more full scenes. And the I keep saying competition. The challenge is to do one that's more of a graphic composition and one that's more full scenes. And I think both of them are supposed to have lots of characters. Excuse me. But yeah, so it sounds really fun, and I've been wanting to do more stuff like this anyway. I actually do some stuff like this, or I've done some stuff a little bit like this. I don't know if I should show right now. Let me see. Nah, that's fine. But yeah, so yeah, I want to do more things like this anyway, and I've been kind of doing some stuff like this. I've done a few poster type things, and so him doing this challenge, I was really psyched for when I saw the description. So I'm going to participate in this one, and I'm going to split my time between this and working on the MMXFPS for the next couple months, because this is due in January, and it'll probably take a long time. And this is some reference of some other poster artists that I really like. This is some Drew Struzan stuff. Oh, I don't know how much you guys can see with the... Oh, I wasn't even showing it. I forgot it's on the wrong monitor. I'm sorry. Let me move my reference over to... Let me just open it up in the right monitor so you guys can actually see. Darth Hylian says, "Sup, man?" What's up, Darth Hylian? Good to see you. Yeah, let me get my reference open. Knucklehead move. I forgot. I'm used to using the other monitors now, so when I'm drawing, I'm on this laptop, and so I have to open stuff over here if I want to show it. There we go. Yeah, I'll have to remember that so that I don't make that mistake again. That's kind of funny. It's gonna take a second to load. Yeah, I was wondering, I was like, how come I can see it on here but I can't see it on OBS? I was like, where is it? Darth Eileen says, there's an official Pokemon contest due at the end of January too. Oh really? Is it an illustration contest for Pokemon? That's cool. Or is it some other kind of contest? Let me know what that is. I'm curious. I can't do both. There's no way, but I'm curious about it. Still would like to know about it. It sounds cool. Anyway, so I have to make sure this is fitting in the window here. So yeah, this is my reference sheet. Let me see how I can move with the stylus here. There's no right click on my stylus, so I gotta use the trackpad on the mouse, on the keyboard. It's super annoying. Wait, some middle click moves it? Wait, which click moves it? There's a shortcut too, isn't there? Oh yeah, it's Alt. Okay, cool. So yeah, this is what I was talking about. This is the description from Mr. Repose's Discord server, and some references that he showed. Here's some graphic compositions and some full scene kind of stuff. He wants you to do one of each of those, one graphic, one full scene. And you can kind of do like existing stuff he kind of encourages, because you know it'll get more traction online usually. And you can do your own original stuff too if you want to, but the focus of the challenge is composition. I keep wanting to say competition. It's not a competition, but it's a challenge. Yeah. My brain is so caffeinated. All right. And here's some work from, this is a famous poster artist who was really big in the 80s and 90s, Drew Struzan, a lot of this stuff. And then there's also these ones, which are Yorinoshi Orai, and I really like his work too. You've probably seen a lot of Drew Struzan's work, even if you aren't like intimately familiar with him, or if you don't know the name. He's done all this kind of stuff, and I really like his work a lot. This one's great for a graphic composition. Yeah, really cool stuff. And I also have some reference of it's another Drew Struzan one. It's really nice. I also have some reference of Mr. Repose's work himself, because he does a lot of stuff like this, and I like a lot of his poster compositions. This one's really cool. Metroid. Yeah, if you've never seen Dave Repose's work before, which I find hard to imagine, but if you've never seen it before, you should check it out. His stuff is amazing. Super cool. And I really like his Discord too. It's worth the $5 a month on Patreon. He posts a lot of useful tutorials and things, and the challenges are cool. And then some other stuff from Mike Butkus, who is another illustrator I like. He does movie posters as well, and some other, well, he does a whole bunch of stuff, but I like his thumbnails. Looking at his different layouts and ideas for things helps to give me ideas. It's kind of amazing how clean his thumbnails are. He's like incredible. He's really good at drawing. I don't know how much time he spent on these, but like, I don't know if they're more like roughs that he would send to someone. They must be. I mean, unless he just thumbnails like this, that'd be pretty crazy. But yeah, he does really good posters and stuff too, among other things. He does a lot of amazing stuff. He also did the illustrations for the cutscenes in the Shadows of the Empire game, if you've ever played that old game. I freaking love that. But yeah, so got some of that reference that I'm looking at, and I'm gonna be drawing. And actually, I've been doing so much 3D and working in Unreal lately that I haven't drawn at all in like a week and a half almost, which is a really long time for me. So I might be a little rusty, and I might have to do a little bit of a whatchamacallit some warm-up doodling right now, and then move on to doing some thumbnails. I know for at least one idea I have is I want to try to incorporate the Triforce and the 3 triangles into that into like a graphic composition for a Zelda thing. So that's one idea I already have in my head. It's kind of an obvious one, but I'm gonna see if I can make it look cool. And then yeah, so but yeah, I think I am gonna start with some warm-up doodling or something if I can find. I'll just start with a pencil if I can remember the shortcut for it. Jeez, I haven't drawn. Where is, I know it's one of these. There it is. Q. Why would I put it to Q? That's strange. Oops. Okay. Cool. I'll keep looking at the chat too, I won't forget. Darth Hylian says, yeah, Pokemon trading card illustration. You choose from like 10 different Pokemon to draw from. I might try Charizard. Pokemon trading card illustration. That's interesting. I might look that up. Maybe if it's not too involved of a thing, I might do that. If it sounds kind of fun. Yeah, I might check that out. Interesting. Yeah, I always would like to find more like illustration challenges and things like that, but I don't even know where to look for them really. I wish there was one sort of a hub where you could just get all that kind of information for illustration stuff. That'd be really useful. I think that there used to be like magazines for that and stuff, but I don't know if that still exists in the same way. Anywho, since we're doing Zelda stuff, I'll just do some warm-up drawings of Zelda stuff maybe. Soften that up a little bit. Feels more like pencil. Just start a sketch layer here. I'm just gonna, do some doodling, kind of warm up a bit. Darth Eileen says you just draw your own Pokemon card art. Oh, okay, that sounds cool. Yeah, maybe I would have time for that, who knows. Just throw another thing on there. I feel like I'm doing too much right now, but it could be doable. Yeah, I feel really wonky from not drawing for a while, so it'll definitely be good to warm up a little bit, do some little doodles and things. And I'm just kind of thinking about the forms to kind of get myself back in that mindset of doing that, as opposed to like all the computer stuff that I've been doing, which is definitely a different kind of thinking. nose is kind of big. I guess his nose is kind of big, but maybe not that big. Keep pressing B instead of Q. For the stupid, for the pencil tool. It feels kind of off center. No. Darn it, see, this is what happens when you don't draw for a while. You kinda lose your chops a bit and then you kinda gotta get it back for a while. It's an awful feeling. Darth Alien says, nice Zelda music to go with the drawing. You really planned this out? Not really. I always use the Zelda music. I don't know if you noticed. So, it just goes with it. It just happens to be that I'm working on Zelda stuff. But thank you for thinking I actually planned something. Yeah, this is just a warm-up doodle. This is not me working on the illustration yet. I'm just kind of getting my wrist fluid and getting used to drawing again after not drawing for a while. So, and I'm just going to be doing layouts tonight for the illustration, because that's going to be the first part of the process, just finding a composition. And that's, you know, for this particular challenge, that's like the most important part as well. I mean, it always kind of is in an illustration to find the composition, so, but yeah, I'm gonna really dig deep and try to come up with something cool composition wise, so the early phase will take up a lot of time, probably more than usual. Okay, that's one quick little warm-up doodle. Put that off to the side. I'm going to do another one. More like a full body kind of thing. Just kind of get my bearings about me. Pressing the wrong shortcuts. There we go. I'm used to Blender right now. Foreshortening. Let's get this hand in here. Just roughing stuff in real quick. Thinking about general forms. Torso, sort of looking up at this dude. I mean, definitely looking up at this dude, because he's obviously seeing it from a lower angle. Maybe the horizon line starts to even out right about here, and we're not looking up as much anymore. Can move that up a little. And at this point, like maybe if the horizon line is here, make that smaller. And kind of be looking down at the feet. Make a nice dynamic kind of an angle, or dynamic shapes for the body. Not really thinking about the pose too much though, just kind of drawing the forms. Just warming up still. Darth Eileen says, I like taking screenshots in Super Smash Bros. To use as reference for Nintendo characters. That's a good idea. I used to do some stuff like that. I wanted to do an orc painting when I was in college. And I took a bunch of screenshots from, what was the name of that game? That Lord of the Rings game, where you play as the dead guy. Shadow of Mordor, I think? Yeah. The orcs in that game looked really cool, so I took a bunch of screenshots of those orcs, and I wound up never doing the painting. But I planned on it. I saw, like, years ago, there was one person on YouTube who was doing, like, they would record footage in GTA 5 of, like, driving around a place or something, and, like, they'd shoot it in the cinematic mode or whatever, and then they'd bring it into, I think, Adobe After Effects or something, and they'd draw on top of it and animate characters into it, like 2D characters into it, and I thought that was really cool. That was pretty neat. It's a really good idea. Kind of made me want to try it. I never got around to it. I don't like what this leg is doing. my gosh, I'm so rusty. That's the gist of it, though. Okay. I'm feeling relatively warmed up. Quick little doodles. Shrink that down. Okay, so I'm gonna start thinking about some compositions. Let's start roughing some in. Let's see, I'm looking at thinking about something vertical. Darn shortcuts. And like I was saying, I want to try and incorporate the Triforce into one of these. So I'm thinking like maybe if I had Triforce is like kind of the main background shape. I remember one thing I did a long time ago. It was a painting that I never, like an actual traditional painting, when I was painting in acrylic in college. And I was doing one where it was like the Triforce, and then Link was in one, and then Ganon, or Zelda was in the other, and then Ganon was in the top one. Maybe I could do something kind of reminiscent of that, but a little more sophisticated, where like I feel like I want something to be hanging down from here, so maybe there's some bodies coming down. Like if Which side is Link? Is he the left side? I think he's the left side, right? Or is he the right side? Does it matter? I might have to might have to look it up. I'm pretty sure he's the left side and then Zelda's on the right. That feels right to me. I honestly don't know. Maybe they're not even assigned really. But I know Ganon's the top because the top is the Triforce of Power. But yeah, maybe if we think about Link standing there, some kind of crazy pose or something. And his body's just kind of trailing down. I should do this on another layer so I can adjust it. Okay, because I know I'm gonna draw it too big or something. Maybe the Master Sword. It's coming up. And this part of the process is really just thought vomiting. Nothing's concrete, nothing's like drawn properly in perspective or good anatomy or anything yet. I'm just trying to think of some layouts, some potential layouts, and everything's subject to change. This is just ideas. I'm getting ideas for things. Not spending too much time on anything or getting precious. Because that's kind of the whole point. You got to figure out all the big shapes and, you know, where you want things to be placed first. And if you start off by just drawing a detailed drawing, you're not going to want to move stuff. You're not going to want to, like, you know, go back and adjust things. So that's the idea, is to just keep it loose and rough and quick so that you're not attached to anything, and, you know, you can try to come up with the best overall idea possible. So maybe Link's something like there, and then maybe Zelda's looking a little bit more towards the frame over here. Should have drawn this one on a different frame, or on a different layer as well. Hang on one sec. It's already too small. Oops, not that big. Darth Hylian asks, which outfit will you draw for Link? I'm thinking this will be Ocarina of Time focused, so it'll be the Ocarina of Time Link, I think. Maybe I'll make it a little bit more realistic and add some extra detail or something, though. But generally, I think I'm going to stick with that kind of style of Link. Some kind of interesting negative space happening here. This is kind of cool. I don't know if I like these poses yet or anything though. And then I didn't really think, like, what am I going to do for Ganon at the top? Because I can't have... I guess I could have his body coming down behind them, but it would be blocking the Triforce. So... maybe I could put him, like, coming out of the top piece or something. Let's see if that could work somehow. Let me get all these pieces in one folder so I stay organized. There we go. Yeah, so like maybe his torso is just coming up here and he's sort of forward leaning. That will block it too though. Like the top part, you won't see any of it if you draw it that big. Maybe he could just be like, I don't want to just draw his head though, that's kind of strange. Maybe I should make the Triforce bigger. A little bit, if possible. Yeah, this is a problem-solving kind of thing, for sure. Let's see. Let me just go with this and see if any more ideas come from that. Let's see. Could even have his arms sort of creeping around, maybe foreshortening here, and then his hand like kind of hovering over them or something. I don't know if I have enough space for that, where it is now. Let's see. Drop this. It's kind of his back. It's kind of leaning forward. This is where his neck would be. His head's coming up. He would be looking at quite a down angle then, though. Not necessarily a bad thing. That head is huge. That doesn't make any sense. fix the scale of that in a second. Let's see. Or maybe he could just be kind of emulating the same triangle shape like that, as opposed to like doing the puppet thing with his hands. Let's play with that a little bit now that we have this here. If I can maybe make him smaller, small enough that he maybe matches their scale, and then he's taking up less space of the top of the Triforce. Maybe be a little bit bigger, because he's kind of gonna have to fill in that shape anyway. There's no way that's gonna work. Like, you're not gonna not cover it if you're gonna have him sticking out of it like that. Could lower his shoulders a bit. Trying to think, like, what's he doing with his arms then? Just kind of fanning him out for some reason. Could be holding, like, he doesn't really have swords. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't love it yet. It's just the first idea. Let's see if maybe I can rearrange this a bit, make it feel good. Yeah, let's bring them down so that they're less... I kind of want to have them sticking out of it, but I could do like a shape within a shape kind of thing. Yeah, that might work. Something like this. That'll help kind of guide things back to where they need to be. Move Link over a little bit. Or just make him a little bigger. Wrong layer. Not that much bigger. It doesn't work. Move him over a little. Just maybe tilt him a little more, yeah. Something like that. He's sticking out his gat for the Rizzler. I got that stuck in my head, that stupid TikTok thing. So funny. It's so annoying. Let's shrink his head down a little bit. Some of those new slang words are too funny. Gyat. Rizzler. It's ridiculous. I sound so old, don't I? I'm sure I do. Sticking out his gat for the Rizzler. Yeah, so the shape within a shape thing, I'm thinking could be like, let's see, like if we duplicate that, so this wouldn't be the actual border would be like here. Maybe more, because it's all the stupid hand. Something like this. And then if I go back to Zelda, let me erase this line that I don't want, and then let me move the arm a little bit. So it's not quite coming so close to the border. There. That feels kind of okay. So like what I'm thinking is I'll probably put some more stuff in the foreground here too. But kind of like this Drusen stuff that I'm looking at, like this is sort of doing that. Oh, I forgot, I'm on the wrong screen again. Here, let me pull it up here. There we go. So like on this Drusen one, see it's like there's a border within the border. Like there's this shape in here. This square shape that everyone's kind of inside of, and then things can break out of the border, like the tip of this spaceship and like Obi-Wan's lightsaber, and they sort of expand beyond it that way. So that's what I was kind of thinking with the border within the border. This is doing the same kind of thing, the Harry Potter one. These are all doing that, the border within the border thing. I think that could be good for this particular one, so that's what I'm thinking with this. Like maybe this is all dark. I'm gonna regret doing this. This is all dark. The negative space. And they're sticking out of these edges and things. You know, something like that. I wish there was a little bit more here. I could probably lower his shoulder or something, so that's kind of a little bit of that pointing in. Kind of there, holding it together. And then maybe a gradient or something, which is kind of what those were doing. You know, something like that. Which layer did I draw that on? Zelda? Yeah. Okay, so that's one thought. Let's try something else. Yeah, maybe do something else like, now I'm thinking about that border within a border thing. Like, I wonder if I could do the Triforce as the border. I think that's sort of what I was thinking initially. But it's just such a... if that'll work. Or if I can make that work. Maybe I could break it up and just have the 3 pieces separate. And then I could do more of what I want with placing them in different poses and things. That could be interesting. Yeah, let's try something like that. So like maybe let's put Ganon at the top again. Do something like that with him, you know, lurching over everybody. Really exaggerate his shoulders. Make him look like a freaking mountain. Get some interesting shapes going. What is his costume like? I actually forgot. He's got like those shoulder pads, and then he's got that scarf thing. It's kind of hanging down. And then some other stuff like that. Maybe I can have him down like like the Super Saiyan thing. His hands out here. Like he's just powering up or something. Maybe even some energy balls or something, I don't know. Anyway, so if we have, what I was thinking is, so now I have him up at the top, and then I could do like these triangles that are separated, that are kind of, you know, just following them. Has to be like an equilateral triangle then, I think. Or at least close to one. Yeah, so he could be like something like that. Yeah, so maybe he's like at the top or something. Again, but with this shape that follows, and then I can break them up a little bit so that they don't have to be quite so compressed. Let me think, what's another pose I could do for length that would be interesting here? I don't hate the pose that I did for the last one, but I want to think of something different. Maybe like calm, confident sort of thing, with the sword held out horizontally, and he's left-handed, so it would be this one. Okay. So the shoulder, and then this goes back here. And then if it's like really foreshortened, maybe, no, that doesn't really work because it leads you out of the composition. It's pointing literally out. So maybe, could do that kind of classic one where he's just standing and it's here. And then the shield's here. I kind of don't want to just copy that pose though. I guess I could. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if I even like that, because then it's just, It doesn't feel good, really. I don't like this pose. What if I did like him charging the spin attack or something? Something like let's see. What am I thinking? I had it like kind of in my head for a second, and that's kind of gone. Like the shoulders back. I think I wanted it so that the sword is kind of pointing that way though. How far can you bend your wrist? Like that? Good question. Might have to rotate it more. Let's look at the gist of the idea though. I want it to follow the same angle as the arm, basically. And then have the shield up, like here. Maybe even tilt it at a slight angle to kind of make it a little more interesting, a little less flat. I don't know if that makes sense, this angle, but we'll give it a try. I think the position of it is wrong though. I think it needs to be like elsewhere, like kind of here maybe. And then his body's going this way, so I want it to come through here. Like he's crouching. I guess you're sort of looking down at him. I like that. Trying to think how he stands when he does it, how that would look from. It kind of looked like that, but not exactly. We are sort of looking down at him, so I think the shins would be more foreshortened. I don't like it. The way he's crouching like that. Maybe more just one knee forward kind of thing. And one leg going back. Yeah, that feels better already. Not that exactly, but we're on the right track, I think. Something like that. And then, thing is, now where do you place this so that it's not super annoying with like where that sword is pointing? And like Zelda's gonna be incorporated as well. So this is kind of a tricky one in general. And then the triangle also, because that's part of the thing. So his triangle would be like behind his head. And so that leads to some questions, like is Ganon in front of his triangle? Or behind his triangle? Like, do you see Ganon's fist there, or does that go behind the Triforce? And if it does, what's the best way to do that? Like, maybe are these about the same size? Yeah. And then maybe, oh, I know. Couple things. So one thing is I want his elbow out more for some reason. I just feel that feels right. I think. Or not. I don't know. We'll see. And then no, that doesn't feel right, actually. Oh. Sorry, I didn't see your comments. Darth Alien says, these are good ideas, or you could have Ganon's face blended in as a reflection in the top piece. Yeah, could do something like that. Or even Calamity Ganon silhouette type thing. Subtle foreshadowing. Or maybe the second thumbnail, you could have Link and Zelda facing towards Ganon to make him seem imposing. Have Link and Zelda facing towards Ganon, like looking inwards. Yeah, maybe something like that. I wouldn't want them to look backwards, back up at him. But yeah, if they were both looking, like, if you saw it kind of more like a profile, like if Link was looking like at him from like a profile kind of an angle and up at him or something, like this. Incorporate that somehow. And Zelda. That could be cool. Something like that. I'll keep that in mind for the next one. For the next thumbnail. I'm gonna try to finish this monstrosity that I've created. I'm really not liking this one. but I want to try to... I feel like almost any idea you can turn into something that works if you know how to do that and if you work at it. Obviously there are some things that are just not going to work, but I think generally you can make things work, and so I want to try and see if I can get this to some degree where it's actually sort of usable, even if I'm not going to wind up picking this one. Probably erase that, and Zelda will be over there too. Because see, there is something kind of interesting happening here with the overlapping. If this one's overlapping Ganon, and then Zelda's overlapping Ganon, then it's adding depth, which is cool. But I just don't know if it'll wind up looking good overall. So, but I'm going to keep going on it. So now Zelda, what could she be doing? Link's in kind of a crouched pose, so I feel like she should be doing something kind of similar. Maybe, she could be like doing that spin thing from like Smash Bros. And you could sort of be looking down at her as well. And if Link's shoulders are going that way, maybe her shoulders should be going this way for counterbalance. And just like maybe it's a little too tilted. And her collar comes up pretty high. Like that. And she has those pauldrons. This feels too long. Probably be back a little bit. It barely even looks barely even looks like an arm. That's really funny looking. And then trying to think for torsos here. And it's angling down. This. And then something like this. No. Something like, well, yeah, but if she's turning that way, then yeah, it would make sense that this is going this way. But then her legs aren't going to point back into the frame, is the tricky thing. So if her, I guess it could be like this. It's kind of like way too wide for her hips, I think. But yeah, something like that. And then you could have this foot crossing, and that kind of points it back in. might work. And then the dress can be doing almost anything, but if it's like twisting that way, it would be kind of... Could you make it go this way? It'd be better if I could make it go this way. I think it would be going the other way though. Technically. Maybe it could just be more tightly down. Maybe some trail of magic thing going on. It should maybe be going the other way though. Leaning back this way. If you're gonna do that, I suppose. That sort of works in a symbolic way too, because they seal him in the sacred realm, and it looks like he's kind of being sealed in by them. It's kind of interesting. Maybe Mike's foot could now be pointing more in or something. Looks like he took a weird step or something though. Maybe this one has to be. Something like that, I don't know. That kind of works. Something's starting to kind of work with that. think it needs more elements to kind of balance it out though. Like maybe some foreground elements and things. It's also not fitting within the shape, and I don't know if I'm going to do the shape within the shape thing again. Let me try to just get it to fit and see if I can do that. Yeah, so if that's fitting in kind of like this, and then we could do some other stuff with like foreground elements and things. I feel like Ganon should be bigger though. Is that better or worse? I feel like it's weird that you can't see his arms. Like you can't see his hands doing something. Maybe I could have just in the middle. His hands are like clasped, like he's plotting or something. Something like that. I don't know. That might help a little. Still kind of awkward looking. I think definitely it will need some sort of, for example, it needs some sort of guiding elements that'll push it back this way. Maybe just some filigree or some like drapery or you know, statue kind of stuff that's evening this out, something like that. And then definitely would like more foreground stuff here. I'm not sure what to put though. I'll have to think about it. Could put like well, if I look at my Drew Struzan pieces for reference, let's see, which is the whole point of having reference. Yeah, I don't know. I think I like how sometimes he'll incorporate the ships and like different, even different scenes, like just randomly R2-D2 and C-3PO are standing there, or like in this one there's a lot of that. Like there's this whole pillar thing going on, where there's this pillar and then they're on top of it, and then they're also right here, and then there's like this whole desert scene underneath that. Maybe something like that. Or even here, like the Ori stuff, it's doing something kind of similar. Yeah, so it's using this scene as a shape to kind of point back into the composition and to create overlap there, and it's doing the same kind of thing with these. Dude, this is such a cool poster. I love this poster. Noriyoshi Ori is amazing. It's such a cool image. Really like this one. Yeah, so let me think. Oh, I could put some bosses or something. I could put, if I use Morpha, but if I put, that's the thing, if I start putting bosses, I'm going to want to include like a bunch of bosses or something. Like I feel weird only incorporating certain ones, unless it's like special ones. Maybe like, yeah, that's tricky. You see that a lot in posters though, where it's sometimes they'll incorporate like, you know, like even on some of those Star Wars ones, for example, that Struzan did. Like this one just randomly includes Chewie and Jabba, and it's like, why is it Chewie and Jabba? That's kind of random, and like the Ewok. But there's like way more important people who could be on the poster, like Han and Leia, and I don't know. That always made me feel kind of weird about the poster, even though it still looks cool. So maybe I don't want to do that. Yeah, I gotta do something with it though. To think about that. I might come back to this one. Keep working on it. Darth Hylian says, yeah, with their backs facing towards us. Yeah, it's an interesting idea. I don't know how well that would work for a poster though, to have their backs facing us. Might be kind of strange. And then also had a nice rim light around them. Yeah, that could be cool. Yeah, the one you're doing does have a lot of potential too. I like it. Thanks. Yeah, I didn't like it at all when I started working on it, but looking at it now, I think, yeah, there's definitely something there that could be cool. Yeah, definitely needs foreground elements though. Yeah. I'm just drawing a blank. I think I should just look at some Ocarina of Time stuff, like some reference. Just Google Ocarina of Time and just look at some screenshots and things to get an idea real quick. Yeah, I'm gonna start adding more stuff to my reference sheet. I need to add Ocarina of Time reference anyway. Oh, I could do the sages like in a lineup, something like that. Yeah, that could be good. That could be very good. Sages, I could do some random mobs, I guess. I think the sages would have more relevancy though. Might feel more important. Ooh, or if I wanted to play with like dualities, I could do like Dark Link and Sheik. I could have Link pulling out the Master Sword, like young Link, in one of the corners or something. Yeah, maybe I'll start off with like Link pulling the Master Sword out of the pedestal, like young Link. Oops. And go from there. Let me make these less opaque so I can see what I'm doing. Not that. Where's the Link one? There it is. And I could do that at a low angle, which is kind of the typical angle that you see it from, where he's sort of that might be interesting actually, to just keep sharpening the angle as it comes towards the foreground. You don't see that all the time. I mean, that's really sharp if you're looking that much at him, up at him. I don't think that's gonna work, but I'm just gonna keep drawing and see how it looks. Could kind of mimic that triangle thing again too. Could be good. Because his arms are up like that. Kind of blocking his face a little bit if we do it like this. At this sharp of an angle. Yeah, I don't like that. I don't think. Too much. Yeah, and there's no like interesting shapes going on or anything really. I mean, it's almost kind of working. Let's try just a more casual angle. More like what? There we go. Yeah, I don't want to just copy the angle that's in the like promotional art though either. Oh, Darth Alien says, I'm heading off. Nice concepts though, keep it up. Catch you later. No worries. See you, Darth Alien. Thanks for tuning in. Let's see. Maybe we could do like a dead on kind of thing. Or even looking down. Maybe we should be looking more down. That could be better. proportions are kind of off. Should be shorter or something. Kind of like he's holding it up and looking at it. I don't know. That might look weird. I think it should be angled down still. That's the problem. I made it sort of flat to the view. So let's just angle it down. It'll look better, I think. More like this, so that it's receding back in space. Yeah, I think that's kind of interesting. That could work. That's still not quite the right angle, but I know what I'm going for now. Like, I know what it is supposed to be. So I can fix that later, but I'm just trying to see what the general shape would kind of work as. And that's pretty good, actually. I don't hate that. I gotta remember not to go outside the border, though. So I gotta rein the shape in and stuff like that. This is a good shape, though. Maybe I could just make him smaller. A little bit. Bring him a little more centered. Yeah, and then just rotate it a little. Yeah, it's not bad. Compromise. Oh, it's a little large too, isn't it? Let's see. This doesn't make that much sense. More like that, maybe. Yeah, I kind of like this feeling like it's like it's almost like the perspective is such that you're looking straight on at Ganon, and then you're starting to look down at these guys, and then as it comes more to the forward, it's even more looking down. It sort of creates this nice rhythm to it. I actually kind of like this idea. I might keep playing with that. Oops, I didn't save it yet. Okay. Save that real quick. And I do want to put something on the other side. I guess I'll rough something in real quick just to get an idea. I could do something with Sheik, that would kind of work. Or I could do just a young Zelda since I did young Link. See if I just start with Link as a base, if I did like a young Zelda kind of thing. What is young Zelda? She has like some kind of weird head thing. Head scarf looking thing. With the medallion on the front. And she could be kind of like doing that folded hand pose that she does when she's talking to Link and maybe smiling. Something like that. Oh, or she could be holding up the Ocarina of Time. Something like that. Oh shoot, I drew that on the wrong layer. Like she just threw it, basically. Like she could be on the horse or something. Yeah, that could be good. It's a little more dynamic than just her with her hands folded. And since he's lifting something up, it kind of mirrors that. I feel like it needs something right here, just something right in the center. And I would say the Triforce, but that's already up here, so I can't really do that again. I don't know what I could. There's a lot of stuff I could put. I could just put the Zelda logo if I wanted to be super lame. Just kidding. I don't know that that's lame, but I mean, I feel like it could be more interesting. Something. I could put like. Maybe I could put like a really nice little plate design of like the 3 spiritual stones all kind of placed together somehow. Maybe like let's see, let me get back to these real quick so that turn up the opacity, and then I'll just put a quick layer between them. Where I just block them out so that they're not overlapping, or rather so that they are overlapping so that it doesn't look so messy. Okay. And right away, I think Link needs to be leaning his body in a little bit. Okay, and then, so what I'm thinking is, if I put it right here, but it's going to block the Master Sword, that's the thing. I could move that over a little. Let me grab that. don't think I can move it much further than right there. I could make it a little smaller. Maybe. And then yeah, so I could put, oh, did we lose the music? Yep. Just restart that. I'm gonna be getting off here real soon. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, I know. I need to lift them up more, probably. That's what it is. Yeah, because then it's just covering the blade of the sword. Just place that right here. It's still gonna kind of interfere, but it's okay. So just like the fire one up top, which is just kind of a V if I remember correctly. And then the water one. Or let's do the forest one on the left, which is that spiral kind of thing. It's amazing that I still remember what they look like. That's just how iconic they are. Watch as I draw it wrong now. Probably. Anyway, it's some kind of spiral thing like that, and then this one is the 3. Like this or something. Something like that. I don't know. Who knows if that's right? It looks mostly right. And then maybe just some sort of like gradient that kind of goes out like this, that kind of gives them a background. It's something, I feel like it needs some sort of shape here that pushes these corners back in. I don't know what that'll be just yet though. Just some kind of element to do that. And that one is almost kind of working. I think it actually just needs one more thing, which is something actually here. Because this is kind of a dead spot. Unless if I just put her elbow kind of in more or something. Which could work. Or maybe her throwing the ocarina could fill that space. If, like if she's throwing it from that place, maybe this hand was the one that actually threw it, and it's actually just right there. And that would kind of solve that problem. And that makes sense to have the ocarina in the middle. And this arm is just here, the poofy shirt thing, and then yeah, something. Could work. It's actually more interesting than the first one. The first one's not really finished though. As an idea, it needs more stuff in the foreground too. But that's a good start for ideas. I'm definitely going to want to try some more ideas. I don't think I've quite satisfied what I can come up with yet. So that's only the first two. But I think I'm going to stop here for the night. Get rid of these ugly warm-up drawings. I'm going to do more drawing tomorrow before I stream. And yeah, I'll probably work on this for stream tomorrow as well. And pick up where I left off. To record like a decent amount of the process, and yeah, we'll go from there. Long stream tonight. Alrighty guys, thanks for tuning in, everyone who tuned in. I appreciate your support. You're awesome. I love you. Join the Discord if you want to join a community kind of thing, or small but growing, and maybe I'll do some cool stuff with that in the future. Some challenges or something, I don't know. But yeah, thanks again. I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.